Fighting talk back again today. I'm delighted to be joined by the bad guy, Chris Bungard, ahead of his bout against Perry Goodwin this coming Saturday at Cage Warriors 164. Chris, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. Just chugging in this lovely fucking Scottish water.
Well, of course, now in fight week, that weight cut's coming down, the weight's moving. How excited are you to be getting in there?
I'm looking forward to this one, mate. I'm not going to lie. I think there's something like 40 tickets left. Know what I mean? So it's like I want it to be sold out to the rafters. I want everybody singing. I want the atmosphere. I want the energy. Obviously, I've fought in like through COVID with like empty arenas in Milan and the BT studios, and I was at the Apex here as well. I don't like these intimate gigs. I mean, I need the crowd shouting. I need the crowd shouting these like as if I don't really know what to do there. Know what I mean? They're like fucking standing bang all these shaky shouts now, but I still like the drunk crowds are the best crowds. And there's a lot of drunk Scottish guys coming down and women.
Look at that. Like you say there, obviously you're bringing down a load of guys. I know Reece McEwen is as well, Aidan Stephen on the card as well.
Yeah.
It's quite a strong Scottish contingent. And I know when I spoke to Perry on Saturday, he said he's almost going to feel like the away fighter. Are you expecting this to almost feel like a hometown show for you?
I watched that interview. I actually enjoyed the interview a lot. Because I've set a couple hundred as well. So like, I feel like there will be like a home. Perry said he's only sold four, but I don't believe that. There's still people are going to enjoy watching him fight. I enjoy watching him fight. You know what I mean? So I'm sure people in Newcastle and Redcar will still make the journey. So, but no, like that the Manchester card I fought on last. Like I was saying, a guy for like Liverpool, which is right beside there, and like literally anything I done in that fight, it popped the crowd, and the crowd are for it. So I don't know. I feel like people just enjoy my um, weird style of fighting, if you would call it that.
And look, what a fight that was against Gav Hughes. Obviously, we spoke after it. And this is another really, really interesting fight against Perry Goodwin. It will be his last
Yeah,
fight. Like I said,
yeah.
I know what he brings. We know what you bring. What sort of fight are you expecting on Saturday night?
One thing I will say though, I don't think it'll be his last fight. Right, like
Yeah.
the guy's a fighter. You know what I mean, he's a fighter. And he maybe get bored in the line. I know he's living a good life now, and he's a lot happy and stuff like that. But one thing I did want to say was like I watched the interview and he's like, "Oh, it was a bit of an arse move to call me out after I got knocked out," which I'll just go against that completely because that's just not true. Like, because I didn't even know when his last fight was. That wasn't the reason I wanted this fight either. So I'll tell him that to his face, but I thought I'd make that clearer now because that's not my style either. You know what I mean? That's not who I'm at. It was like I wanted on Newcastle card because I was travelling and I couldn't make the other Cage Warriors cards because I was on a holiday. And then there was an article like who should be on this card, and it was like Perry Goodwin should definitely be on this card. So I was just like, well, I think me and him would be a great fight. Like, look at our fights, and it was as clear as day that people like I seen the first pair when it got announced. Somebody wrote violence o'clock for both of us, so it was just like that's what I want. I want people to think this is going to be a great fight. So that's the reason I was like, that could be a good fight. So it wasn't not a day where I'm like coming off a loss, which I thought he won his last fight, so it must have been 2 fights ago. So I just wanted to clear that up anyway. There's no beef. Like we're going to probably get a bit nippy at the weekend. If we see each other, he's a bit loud, I'm a bit loud. That'll be it, and we'll fight on the day. But like I've no ill will towards Perry, even if he likes to put fire on the Rangers taps and strips and the hashtag Rangers FC because that's not going to help him in there anyway. But I'll maybe bring it up to him if I'm in tap, maybe landing some shots. I'm just kind of like, where's your beloved Rangers? They can't save you in this position, not me. But it's got to be a good one. It's got to be a good fight. You know what I bring? Like there's no secret sauce with me. Like I don't hide anything in the gym. Like oh, you can't see what my game plan's like. I'm going to come up with some erratic strikes. I'm probably going to take you down. I'm going to try and submit you or pound you or cut you with elbows. Like that's like everybody that comes to my fights, they know that's what they're getting. I'll always be there at the last second. So he's kind of similar. He's not really a submission guy, but like I say, he's got his obviously strengths and his stand up and his strikes. So it's just he moves a lot as well. So it's like a puzzle I'll need to solve on the night. with atmosphere. If it's his last fight, he's obviously got to give everything he's got. So it's got to be another tough one, just like my last three Cage Warriors fights, I feel. But you know, what I mean, I need to put a stamp on my performance, and I'm not looking for a finish. I'm not going to lie. I'm always looking for a finish, but you know, what I mean, when they're tough, they're tough. But I'm going to try and finish Perry on Saturday night, or die trying.
Where in the division then do you see a big win against somebody like Perry putting you? Because obviously it was a great fight that one against Gav Hughes in Manchester. If this is another big performance, do you see that putting you right back up towards the top in that title challenging spot?
I honestly don't know because obviously I got the shot. I got the title shot. Like I beat Eric De Silva in Wales. You know what I mean? He was a former Brazil Ultimate Fighter guy, black belt. He had like 30 pro wins or something. So it was like that was a tough one to go in, my debut. Then I was training for Gavin, and obviously 2 or 3 weeks out, we got offered the belt against George. So if you're talking stylistically, Gavin and George aren't the same at all. Um, and I thought that like the George fight was good. It was like it was a bit of back and forth, He hurt me at the body, but I'll say this to this day, like Mark Goddard gave me 2 seconds to recover, 2 seconds, and I stood up. I was fine. The body shot was away. It wasn't there anywhere. I mean, I was fine. I went a jog after the fight and everything. So I just felt for a world title fight, he could have let it go in a couple of seconds because the round was coming to break as well. And before then, it was a bit of tit for tat, calf kicks, jabs, like. So I was happy. Like the only thing I was worried about was going to 5 rounds with George because I wasn't preparing for it. So, but I took that fight because I felt if I didn't, I'd regret it. And that's simple as that. And I don't regret taking it. And then we go into Gav Hughes. It was the same close fight again. I done more damage. And then we've got this one, which is probably got to be the exact same. So I don't know if this one will put me further because I got a title shot, but I'd definitely like a full camp for a title shot. We're going to Scotland, obviously. Um, but there are guys like Mason Jones, Paul Hughes has obviously came back into the mix for the lightweight strap. So I feel George needs to fight one of they two. I don't know, like are they next? I don't know. So I don't know who's next for me in Scotland, but I'm just kind of focused on Perry now. But I'm getting excited for the Scotland card because I mean, look at all the other cards: Manchester, Newcastle, basically bouncing. What do you think Scotland's going to be like?
It's going to be a mental one, I know. And I was going to touch on it later, but we've mentioned it now, so we will bring it up now. Of course, Cage Warriors have announced their long-awaited return to Scotland. I mean, just for you to then be able to get on that card, be able to get a good name in Scotland, that will mean so much to you, surely.
Oh, it's like a decade it's been here. Like that hasn't been here for a decade. I'm sure I went to the show too. It was in Kelvin Hall, and I think Joanne Calderwood, James Dooley, and Paul McVeigh. I think they were on it. But was like 10 years ago. You know what I mean, that's a lifetime in MMA. And they've had so much Champions Day as well. That was what I didn't get that they didn't come when I had Ross Houston, had Stevie Ray. Maybe we're forgetting other people, but they held the belts and they were Scottish. So if Reese wins it, well, they're coming anyway. But if Reese wins, he'll probably headline that show with the title. But I don't know who I would even like there, but I know for a fact it'll be fucking bouncing. It'll be electric as well. So, but my focus is on Newcastle. Like I love coming down to Newcastle to compete. I've had some good fights there in the past in the northeast, and like I feel like the Newcastle fans and the people are kind of like they're like the Scottish. You know what I mean? They're working class, hard people, and they usually hate the rest of England. So, so I got on well with Newcastle people and fans and the Geordies in the town. You know what I mean?
So we're recording this on a Monday, well, Monday afternoon there, we're recording. What does your fight week look like then? When do you travel down? When does everything, obviously, yeah, already Waterloo in there now. How is the weight looking and everything?
So I'll go down Thursday morning. I've got some media today and stuff, and then some photos and that. But the weight's good. The weight's lightest I've ever been. I don't know if it's because I just done 3 weeks in Vegas. Maybe like the heat was I was sweating a lot, maybe, or it was just the sessions were good. I don't know, but I've got a new nutritionist, Peter Miller. So I've just been like I can eat healthy food and I can train hard and all that, but sometimes I just need a wee bit of structure and direction. Like, no, have it this then, have this then, and if somebody's telling me what to do, usually like it goes a lot smoother. So, the way it's sitting nice is actually the lightest I've ever been coming into fight week. Usually, like what I'm sitting at now is usually what I would start cutting for in a Thursday night, maybe. You know what I mean? So that's a good sign.
You mentioned there, of course, Vegas, you were out there for Paul Craig. It wasn't to be his night on Saturday, but what was that experience like for you being out there, training at the PI? I see you were getting loads of rounds in with Sean Clancy as well, of course, Kate Reyes, welterweight.
Yep. Um, it was brilliant. It was like the ultimate fighter house, but without any booze. Basically, you were just like we had our own house. We were all there, like strength coaches, nutritionists, teammates. And then we'd go to train in the morning, we'd come back, eat some good food, we'd train at night, we'd come back, have dinner, and it was just repeat, hot weather. Obviously, I had a few days off, so I done like stuff that I like to do, like hockey and like comedians and stuff like that. So, but like stuff like that keeps me balanced. You know what I mean? I'm not all in on fighting. I need other stuff in my life to keep me ticking, and it was good. Well, obviously the training was brilliant. There was a wee issue. Well, the start of camp was brilliant. And there was a wee issue in the middle of camp, and then the end of the camp's been perfect. So it's just perfect timing, really, with the fight coming up. But the obviously it wasn't to be for Paul, but I think when you're mixing it with like the top 10 in both divisions, i.e. the light heavyweight division and now the middleweight division, you're like they're just killers. It's a cutthroat game that we play, and I mean like you see like Paul's the ultimate professional. You know what I mean? Like everything down to the science, is the way in, everything he loves it. So to see him put a lot of hard work in and then come up short is quite gutting for him. But like I think it's just down to basically like people that don't know what they're fucking talking about, like trying to like slag fighters. Like I wonder how these guys that sit on Twitter, I wonder how they would get on against like Jamal Hill, Ankalaev, Krylov, Shogun, or Brendan Allen. I wonder if these guys would beat the guys, know what I mean, as they sit on their fucking Moz couch with Dorito dust in their belly button, know what I mean? Like so that's the hardest bit. Like the social media side is ruthless. That could happen to me in Saturday, you know what I mean? And then everybody just laughs at you. So it's like it's just a weird game that we're playing.
You mentioned something there, so I will have to ask on it there. You said that the start of the camp was fine, then there was a bit of an issue in the middle, and then the end of the camp's been
Yeah.
great. Can you sort of disclose anything about that, or the issue in the middle?
No, I popped my knee, man. My knee went. I was grappling in the gym. I was just back for like my back injury. I was feeling great. I was feeling great, and I don't mind telling it anyway because if he wants to oblique kick my knee, then like I've got to kick him with anyway, so it's all good. I blew my knee out, man. My LCL and the outside. Just had somebody's back, and I was trying to rotate it with a bit of pressure, and it just went, man. So that was I was close to tears on the mat that day. Like I was just all these things going through my head. Like, is this my body just talking to me? Like, first you've got the herniated discs, and now your knees pop. Like, is it? I've never thought like this, but I was like, is it time? Like, just to retire, man? Like, you're fucked. So that was a dark couple of days there, but good physios. My anaconda knee brace. That came of saved this fight in this camp, and then obviously I ended up having to go to Vegas. We went light run about it, and then obviously as it got better over the few weeks, and then we're good to go. I sparred with it, I rolled with it, and I've kicked with it. So it's like we'll see if it goes in the fight. It goes in the fight.
You've touched on that anaconda brace there, of course, proud sponsor of the Leonard podcast. How much are you enjoying doing that with Paul Craig and Ross Cooper?
Aye, it's been good. It's mad because wherever you go, people just they would rather talk about your podcast and your fight career. You know what I mean? So people love it. People like to listen to the free. It's just because it's not really filtered.
I didn't say
So
that again. Thank you.
So I like Ross is dressed up as a fucking suicide bomber and stuff like that. I mean, like I didn't expect a bit more backlash for that one, but it's been good. We've got the Patreon, and I've got a lot of dedicated fans that love putting their time into us as well, and even the guys behind the scenes in the podcast, they do a lot for us, and we've got some good stuff in the pipeline. Obviously, it's just a busy month for the Frees because we're all fighting a week after each other. So hopefully back in the studio next week.
Finally, then, Chris, what can fight fans expect from the bad guy performance on Saturday night?
They can expect some new stuff, some wild striking. Let's just say, and we can expect blood. Like I get caught all the time as well, so it maybe not just be Perry. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like the fans will get their money worth with our fight, and I feel it'll. This is like the people's main event. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the energy and the atmosphere will be all for it in this fight.
Perfect. Look, Chris, thank you so much for your time and all the best on Saturday, mate.
Thanks, Jake, man. Appreciate it, man. See you there.